Errol Spence, man, he has been doing all the heavy lifting. We've been hearing this for how long? How long have we been hearing Errol Spence? He's doing all the heavy lifting at 147. So let's talk about the heavy lifting that Errol been doing. Let me see. First and foremost, this is a guy that, I'm gonna say this. I don't hate Errol Spence. Never did. He gotta do something personally to me for me to like actually hate him. I don't hate him. It's a strong word. I hate how he moving. There's certain things that I didn't like. Shit he said in the past, and people giving him a pass for it. Like, let me jump into this before I talk about the heavy lifting. Let me jump into this whole thing about the 60-40. I want to talk about that real quick, and I want to talk about the thing with the belt. Right? Let me talk about the belt shit first. The Errol Spence fans always talking about, he always talking about, hey, Errol gonna clean up his all the belts on his side of the street, and then he was gonna fight Crawford. Bro, that ain't the way he said it. He told Crawford before Crawford even got a belt. Yo, get a belt. That's what he said. It was never no let me clean off my side of the street. It was get a belt and then we could see what's up. If it was really about the belts, he would have just said, yo, this what you do, Terrence. Let me clean off my side of the street. And then when you get a belt, right? That's what he should have said. When you get a belt, then we fighting. That never was said like that. That never was said. So that's where a lot of the confusion come from and stuff like that. He made it seem like once Bud get the belt, then it's on and popping as soon as Bud get the belt, and it didn't happen like that. You know what I'm saying? It kept looking like he was kicking the can down the road, and that's what was getting a lot of people frustrated with the fight and why it was prolonged and shit. You know, another reason people are upset about why this fight didn't happen yet is because they see all of the other mega fights that could have happened and they never happened. All of the double talk when those fights and, with the Wilder and Joshua, and you see what happened with them. They both ended up losing. Now none of them champs no more. That's the reason why a lot of people are upset about the Errol Spence and Bud not fighting right now. So I just wanted to throw that little nugget out there because everybody keeps saying, well, damn, why everybody mad? He ain't, he's getting the third belt. Shouldn't that matter? Why wouldn't he want to go get a third belt? Wouldn't it make it more lucrative for the Bud fight? And again, I'm gonna talk about that in another video. But let's jump into the 60-40 real quick. I'm gonna y'all ask these Errol Spence dudes all the time. What's 60-40? And every time I ask them this shit, they don't never reply. What 60? Some of them do. I say what's 60-40? The 60-40 Errol offered them. What's 60-40 that Errol offered them? Where was that on paper at? Was that Errol offer him 60-40 through social media? So now that's how we get fights made. We do it through social media. So social media is official now on how we make fights now. So there's no need to negotiate, sit down at no tables, none of that, right? They can't say nothing when I say that. That 60-40 thing was just a word thrown out there by Errol Spence. He threw that out there because he knew his minions was gonna latch on to it and make it seem like it was some kind of official sit down with everybody. It was official drawn up paperwork, and Bud just totally officially turned down 60-40, and that never happened. So miss me with that bullshit. That shit, get the fuck up out of here with that. Get that shit the fuck up out of here. Ah, man, that shit is annoying. I've been listening to that for so long. I had to bring it up. I'm like, God damn, with this, they keep every other comment with these Spence fanboys. Yo, you should just took the 60-40. Nigga, what fucking 60-40, bro? Man. Yo, these dudes gonna make me I'm gonna make a big ass 60-40 like a SWAT. And I'm gonna get 60-40 right across and I'm gonna slap the shit out of them with that shit, man. That's what's going to end up happening. I'm gonna start slapping niggas with that shit. And if they want it in person, I'll slap them in person too. I have no problem doing that. But anyway, now we're gonna talk about that heavy lifting. Let's talk real quick about that. As far as KOs go, who has Errol knocked out, and how long ago has that been? Anybody? I don't know. Was it Ocampo? That was what, 2017, 2018? Body shot knockout Ocampo. Nobody else hasn't been man down ever since then. Nobody. He hasn't stopped Mikey Garcia. He hasn't stopped Sean Porter. He didn't stop. He didn't stop. Who else has been? He ain't stopped. Yeah, he ain't stopped none of them dudes. He ain't stopped none of the top level dudes, right? And this is what I mean. And we talking about. He stopped Kell Brook for the belt. But let's talk about. That's what we're gonna get into, the heavy lifting. So before he had a belt, he fought Kell Brook for the IBF. All right, so Kell Brook was already damaged. He was a damaged fighter from Triple G. So that's heavy lifting. Wouldn't heavy lifting be like fighting a totally 100% Kell Brook, no broken eye sockets, no nothing? That would have been 100%. I would have gave him more credit for that, right? How was that heavy lifting though? What? Kell Brook wasn't going around body bagging niggas and all of that. So you make it seem like Kell Brook was this monster dude just stomping through motherfuckers at 147. Man, get out of here, bro. Not even. He ended up snatching the belt off of Sean Porter, and barely did that. All right, so where was the heavy lifting at with the Kell Brook? He got the IBF off of a damaged up, a broken, beat up Kell Brook. You know why I'm bringing this up? Because this is what they like to say about Bud, right? They say it all the time. So if Kell Brook was damaged when Bud fought him, he was still damaged when Errol fought him. Triple G, the first one to put that real pain on Kell Brook. So Triple G, Errol should thank Triple G for really getting, like, literally handing him that fucking IBF belt. If you want to get real with it. So fuck that. That shit wasn't no. Take that off a heavy lift. Take that off the weight. Take that off the bar. So that weight is off the bar. That wasn't no heavy lifting. So who else was it, guys? Who else has he been heavy lifting against? Wasn't Ocampo. Wasn't Lamont Peterson. That wasn't heavy lifting. Who else? Mikey Garcia was heavy lifting. He couldn't even knock him out. He said he was gonna knock out Mikey Garcia. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna knock him out." Like, he knew he was gonna knock him out. He get in there and then it turned into, "Oh, I just wanted to show my boxing skills." Bro, just fight. That's it. Just fight, nigga. You ain't gotta all this man down shit. You couldn't even put him down. 135 pounder. Couldn't get him up out of there. Was that heavy lifting? Nah. Next. Who else was it? So that's Kell Brook. Nope. Mike Garcia. Nope. Mark Peterson. Nope. Danny Garcia. That was heavy lifting. What did Danny have? He didn't have no belts. That wasn't heavy lifting. And you ain't even really impressed me when you fought Danny like that. Did good though. Did your thing. Didn't get knocked out. Took his shots well. But there was certain parts in that fight you was looking a little shaky, man, to the body and everything. I saw it. A lot of people saw it too. So Danny Garcia is just a good enough fighter at 147. He ain't make no real noise. Got his ass whooped by Keith Thurman. Sean Porter whooped his ass. So what has he really done? What has he really done? What noise has Danny Garcia made at 147? So we're going to recap it again. Danny Garcia ain't make no real noise. Mike Garcia definitely wasn't making no noise. Lamont Peterson wasn't making no real noise. Kell Brook, you got that belt off of him only because of help from Triple G. So let's go on to Sean Porter. Okay, you took the WBC strap off for Sean Porter. All right, you were supposed to, right? Sean Porter is another one. He's a great fighter too. He's another good enough dude though. So the only real lift you really did, I'll give you, is Sean Porter, and that's a light lift. That wasn't nothing heavy though. Yo, it's crazy because people say Bud ain't really, like, who has he fought in at 147? But then when you look at the top guys at 147, like the dudes that was champions and, you know, the dudes that was fighting each other like Thurman and everybody, most of them wasn't really making no noise. They wasn't. Keith Thurman was probably the only one that was really making noise, man. He was the only one that was really making noise. Errol ain't fight him. The rest of them was people coming up into the division, somebody that already got their face smashed in by somebody else in a higher division, and then somebody that got beat up by the person that you got your face, that the person that you took the WBC from was the same one that got beat. He's the same one that lost his belt to somebody that had his face smashed in. So it wasn't no heavy lifting, bro. That shit is a myth. You did what you were supposed to do at the time. That's all it is. All that heavy lifting shit is bogus, bro. It wasn't no heavy lifting because none of these dudes was some monsters that was running around, stopping everything in his tracks. None of them was doing that. Not even you, Errol. The only one that was a real monster, and I'm keeping it all the way real, was really Keith Thurman. He was the only one to me, as far as I see it. Fuck y'all talking about heavy lifting, man. Get out of here with that bullshit. So, Rebel Life has officially debunked that bullshit, that heavy lifting shit. And then you come out saying heavy lifting as if it's a problem, you doing the heavy lifting. But according to you, you said you ain't want no tune-ups and all of that. So then stop talking about, I know you ain't complaining. I hope he wasn't saying that in a way where he complaining about heavy lifting when you the one that said you want to do the heavy lifting. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Let somebody else do it. Right? All right, man. So, hey, look, I had to say something about that because I get sick and tired of hearing that heavy lifting shit because you wasn't lifting nothing, bro. You wasn't lifting nothing. You beat Bud, you beat Boots, then that's heavy lifting. That's heavy lifting. As far as I'm concerned. So put that weight down, Errol. It's a facade. Anyway, I'm off this, yo. We'll catch y'all later, though. I'm out.